Now this is very interesting because, like, what if both sides are telling part of the truth? Because that's generally what happens, ain't it?
Mm.
Generally, people tell part of the truth, but not all of the truth. Like Dalvin Cook has said in his response that he defended himself. So he's not like he said I ain't put my hands on her. He's like, bro, she came through with a gun and mace, attacking me and another person in my home. Right, I defended myself, and they cited the Minnesota's Castle Doctrine, in
Mm-hmm.
which if someone enters your home illegally, you have the right to self defense in that situation.
Pretty much
Right?
like everywhere.
Yeah. And like it's interesting because then what do we say to Dalvin Cook in this situation? Right? If Dalvin Cook, if Dalvin Cook did do something like have y'all seen this screenshot that was submitted amongst her initial lawsuit that is a Instagram conversation apparently between her and Dalvin Cook with a picture of her face?
Somebody said it's a Photoshop, and I ain't a Photoshop expert, so that's why I didn't really pay that too much mind. But if that's not a Photoshop, boy. But then it's weird because if somebody holding a gun to my face, you damn right I'm about to hit you as hard as I can. So
then what do we say to Dalvin Cook? So like, let's say it's not a Photoshop because I heard the same thing. It's all alleged. We don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook and his attorney have not spoken on that particular photo, right? If it's not a Photoshop and Dalvin really kind of rocked her shit like that, but she maced him and had a gun,
I'm sticking you. I don't even.
She deserved every ounce of that punch.
I don't believe in hitting women at all. Like my mom had gone through domestic violence. Like I don't agree with it, no shape, form, fashion. But you shouldn't be putting your hands on someone or endangering them. So if they feel like you did want to, or you put your hands on them, or you endanger them, then hey, I'm all with the self defense. In a reasonable instance. Because Dalvin Cook, if he punched her just like he did that one mark, imagine what he really could have did if he just snapped. So you gotta if that's all he did and he punched her that hard, yeah.
Y'all remember Chad Wheeler?
Man, yeah.
We've seen it if an NFL player snaps on just like
I feel like it'd be different too. I feel like typically with domestic violence, it's typically like a pattern, or it's typically been happening for a while. Like it's not typically something that's just going to happen
fresh
one time,
yeah,
and then that's it. So I feel like if she was like, "Hey, yeah, this has been going on for a while. I have pictures, I have video. It started at X time, and then this was the climax of the whole thing." Then okay, it's like, oh, okay. But I mean, at this point, it's like, okay, well, how did you get in the house? You end up in the house, and then potentially you did Mason and potentially pulled a gun on him. I'm assuming that you're not going to come to his house and he's just going to start beating you up in front of company. Like that honestly don't sound like.
Hey, some niggas be wilding though.
Exactly.
Like, I just want to say some niggas be out here wilding.
Yeah, that's true too.
I'm not going to put her claim down like it didn't happen how she's saying it happened or stuff didn't occur. But like I'm not going to downplay because a lot of women their domestic violence or instances like this get downplayed like it didn't happen.
Yeah, so a lot of women do provoke the men as well. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's a double-bladed sword, but at the same time, it's just tricky, and because we don't know the whole facts of the story, like Ant's been saying, we don't know everything. But
I actually like this, what y'all saying right now, because T.O. just said it's usually a pattern. It's not just a one-time instance, but she is suing for a one-time instance of assault, battery, and false imprisonment. The false imprisonment part is interesting because how did you get to the home? Hey, exactly. Right. But that's interesting. And Dalvin Cook says we had a short-term relationship over a couple of months. They like met on a beach in like late 2018, and he's like, she was emotionally abusive, physically aggressive, confrontational, and this is a quote from their response to the lawsuit, and repeatedly attempted to provoke Mr. Cook.
I mean,
there are some females out there that are like that. I'm not going to say that because, like we said, we don't have all the facts yet. But at the end of the day, there are females that do provoke these situations, and some are a bit aggressive. I wouldn't put it past the female. Just because she's a female doesn't mean that she can't, potentially have, like you said, broken to the home, start macing people, had a gun. Like I wouldn't put it past her. But then also with the aggression from men as well, like, for the most part, any man can overpower most females. with
I
ease and stuff
damn
like
sure
that.
ain't
So
putting it faster, bro. She's
not at all.
trained too. Like
Exactly.
she knew how to get in the house. She got a garage opener. Like that's a lot, bro. Especially with a gun involved too. So like that's hairy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you pulled the gun out on him and kept him hostage. Supposedly he
Question,
somehow.
Keith.
What's up?
Why is there a gun there in this whole situation?
That's interesting.
But I don't know, because if you went there with your gun like on you, I can't say nothing because I go everywhere with my gun.
You went with the intention though, because clearly they weren't on good terms. If that's what happened, right?
But if she going to get her stuff though, that's like I got my. If I walked in the house right now or walked over to your house, you see when I go to see you for Christmas,
They could have avoided that. Hey,
but
all your stuff at the front door. All your stuff right there to the garage, whatever.
They could have handled that like adults, like, hey, I got your stuff here, come do it. But obviously there was a lag of communication that they didn't have, so she used what she had. But I ain't gonna say her having her gun on her is an issue, bro. I got my gun up. When I go to see you, I gotta put my gun up because we got the boy. You got the boys, I have it on me all the time, so I ain't gonna be like, oh, she got her gun on her.
That's different though. We family, but when it comes to a toxic ex or something like that, like I'm going to my ex's home. And we've been doing nothing but arguing.
I'm going strapped.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, there's multiple ways to look at that. I'm gonna say this, like it is like if you think something is confrontational, possibly, and you brought the strap, that is problematic. And mace, but
women carry mace.
Yeah, that's true, but. Like, me and you have been in a relationship, and if it was a good relationship, if I came with the intentions of just grabbing my stuff, whatever, blah blah blah, I wouldn't have had all these weapons on me either.
But who to say that shit wasn't in the car and then she went and got it? You know what I mean? Like, what if she went and cook house with nothing?
She could have just left.
But say he do got two guests there, maybe they're two females, and she gets pissed. So then she runs and grab, like we really don't know the facts. So like,
but that's what I'm saying. She could have just left if that's the case, because that's on her. You shouldn't have came back.
Come on, nah.
And if he got you, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you can see more of the Fly Route podcast.